There we go. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. What a day. What a day. You know what I love about this life is you can wake up on a Tuesday morning at like 5 o'clock and you can think you're going to be working. You can think that X is going to happen. And then all of a sudden, everything changes. Like everything changes. And we have someone on the program today who knows that very well. And it happened to us today because I was fortunate enough to be introduced to our next guest this morning, who is in Ukraine right now. He has left the city of Kyiv. He is helping Ukrainian forces, and he ain't scared, and he ain't fucking leaving. Please welcome Ukrainian citizen and a resistance fighter, Mr. Alex Dayrabekov. How did I do?
Good? Close.
Did I nail the name?
Dayrabekov.
Dayrabekov. Did we lose him?
Oh, he's there.
There he is. We got him back. So we're still sorry. We got a bit of a weird connection, obviously. But I was just asking how I did with your name. 1 out of 10, 5 out of 10. Where are you at?
10.
Oh, there you go. Look at that. You don't have to be nice to him, Alex. It's okay.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
how are you and where are you, sir?
Yeah, his connection's trying, that's for sure. There's Locker.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Oh,
we got you now. You got full bars now. Go ahead. Where are you? Go ahead. Tell the story.
So the last name comes from a name of my grandfather, who is from Kazakhstan. And when Russians came to Kazakhstan, the Kazakhstan people didn't have last names. So they asked him, "What is your first name?" His first name was Dayrabek. So they just added off. And that's how they created it artificially. It was artificially.
Well, everybody get their name weird, but I'm really grateful that you're here, Alex. Where are you and how you doing?
I'm now in Cherkasy, which is a city 200 kilometers south of Kyiv.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a very safe place here, very peaceful and safe compared to the capital.
Mm-hmm. And how long have you been there? When did you leave the capital?
Oh, we left last Saturday. So it's our fourth day here.
Your fourth day here.
Yeah.
And when did so the invasion started? We're 14 days in, right? We're 2 weeks into this.
Yeah.
So you tried to tough it out in Kyiv for 10 days?
Well, the first day we actually lived in Irpin. I'm sure you guys heard about it on the news now, because Irpin is now probably the hottest place, the hell. People are dying in the streets. People are being killed in the streets. This is the city, my native city. And we were able to escape it on the second day of war, because I have now a 3 weeks old baby, and I felt it was better to leave that city, and we left it on the second day. Even a week ago on Wednesday, I evacuated a family from Irpin. It was Wednesday last week. When I wanted to evacuate another family on Thursday last week, the army didn't let me in. Wow. It was already too late, and now it's horrible. It's really horrible.
Mm-hmm. Irpin is the city that you're from. Sorry if I'm saying this wrong. You sent us some pictures, Alex.
Yes.
Dayrabekov joins us from Ukraine. He's currently fighting with the resistance, helping the resistance, putting people in bunkers, helping feed the warriors on the front lines, and I want to get to that, but this is your home. You sent us these pictures today, if I'm not mistaken. Take us through these if you can. Where is this?
This is actually a view from my apartment. So I looked at it every day.
Wow.
And were you there for this? Like, were you around when the shelling happened?
No, I wasn't. Luckily, I wasn't. I wasn't there at the time of bombing. Mm-hmm. But the first day of the war, we heard airplanes over us. We heard missiles flying to Kyiv, very close to our apartment building. Thing is that the military airport which was supposed to be one of the first bases for the Russian troops, is actually like 3-4 miles away from this place, from the apartment building I lived in. Yeah, right here, close.
So it's really close to
yeah,
a
it is
target
really
then.
close. So we heard the military airplanes and missiles close, very close.
Do you think, Alex, that the Russians are bombing civilian targets on purpose, or do you think that this is a product of them attempting to hit something else, and then them not being very good at hitting those military targets?
Good question. I'm a peaceful person, and I first thought that the main target for operation was Zelensky and the main authorities in our government. But then I slightly started realizing that these guys were given an order to actually bomb the civilians.
Jesus.
How do you know that? Like, is it just because that's all they've been doing?
There's so many evidences of that. Like there's a video, I can send it to you. That it happened on probably first or second day of the war. A civilian car, a simple automobile in the street, and here is a military machine coming, the Russian military machine, and it just bombed it. It just ruined the car completely.
Mm-hmm.
How could that happen? I mean, they were given an order to do that. I'm sure now.
Mm-hmm. And it's not just there. I mean, it's not isolated, right? We've seen lots of examples of that. I mean, the bridge from Kyiv to Irpin, which has been featured heavily in the news, and people trying to get over the bridge, and some of the damage that we've seen from Irpin. I want to bring this up. I want to show you the video. This was early. This is like day 2 or 3, I believe, and I'm sure this video is going to be familiar to you, Alex. And I'm sorry if it causes grief, but this doesn't look like a miss, like an accident. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah. That's a missile that hit specifically that location, and I know this building. I passed it many times. It's a very nice location. I know this building. I would go on that street every day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's just a residential building only. There's no government dealings
Nothing
there. Nothing. Wow.
Oh, there is 2 kilometers away from that. There is a military hospital. A military hospital.
Jesus.
Probably they were trying to hit that target, but missed. But I don't know how that could happen.
Yeah. Well, I don't know either. I mean, I think it just all looks intentional. Alex Dayrabekov, Sorry, how do I say that again?
That's good. 9 out of
Alex,
10.
9 out of 10. Dayrabekov joins us, and he's in Ukraine, and he's just about 200 kilometers south of the capital. I want to know what you're up to, and I want to know, your daily routine now. But I also want to go back to 15 days ago when you're an executive for an HR company. Take us through that experience. Like, leading up to this, everything you build, everything you do. You're a professional. You've got a job. You commute. You go to work. You have a professional life. You wear a suit. You help other people. You have a good income. You are like everybody else in this world that has achieved, some success in life, some professional success in life. Fast forward 15 days later. You're hiding out. You're delivering blankets, coordinating the bomb shelter effort in your area and in Kyiv, and you're delivering food to the front lines and trying to take care of your very young family. But take me back like 15 days ago, leading up to this. What was that experience like? Is it going to happen? Is it not going to happen? And then when it happened, what goes through your head? Like, what were the first events where you're like, oh my God, this is going on? Like, it's on right now.
Oh, actually, we had felt the tension. I remember back in November, we were sitting with my friends at my friend's place, and my friends were Belarusian, by the way. And we we discussed the question whether Putin will start a war or not. And most of us agreed that, well, it's unlikely. Even though President Biden said clearly to the entire world that the Putin plans to get Kyiv. And then Prime Minister Johnson said that Putin wants to put his own, ways to rule Ukraine. Nobody believed it. So we kind of felt the tension. We kind of, and the question that I read, honestly decide to leave on the morning of the war. My kid cried at night. I woke up at 4, and for some reason I decided to check the news, and I was shocked. I felt it was kind of preparing for the war, but that was it. And then we heard the airplanes, and that was just like the entire world changed from peace to war. We heard the air defense, like poof, poof. And at first it was scary. On the second day we already got used to that. The second day I cried like a baby. I cried like never in my life. Then the third or fourth day I cursed. I cursed. I used all the slang I knew. And Russian Ukrainian slang is very colorful and rich. I used all of it. So by Monday, I came with acceptance, and I wanted to do something. I wanted to do. I couldn't just sit and read the news. So I talked to my wife, and I said to her, and she cried because I told her I want to go to Kyiv. I want to go to Kyiv and help the bomb shelters with. I want to do something. I want to go to. We have this Teroborona, which is territorial defense, which is not an army and not a police, but like volunteers who are dressed like an army and they have a gun. Mm-hmm. But I cannot do that because I have a baby and I don't have a military experience. So I said I want to do and go and help them. Bring sandwiches, make tea, whatever. I just want to be there. She cried. She didn't want to let me go. Finally, she accepted it. And on Monday, I drove to Kyiv, which is 20 kilometers away. And with my friends, we organized in a volunteer group, helping one of the underground stations with whatever they needed, the teapots and tea and sugar. And then gradually, the people started collecting around us. I started raising money. The donations started coming. And I went to Kyiv every day, the entire week, until Saturday when we evacuated here to Cherkasy. So now I coordinate all of this out of Cherkasy. I collect the money. I do the posts. I help the guys who are there in the field. They go to the supermarkets, buy the stuff, bring to the underground stations.
Mm-hmm. So, wow. I mean, there's so much to unpack there. I mean, 15 days ago, you're, playing cards and putting kids to bed. You wake up in the middle of the night and it's on. I heard everything you said. The jets going by, the anti-artillery going up, and you got to get out. I mean, and so you get out and you say to your wife, listen, I got to go and help. After 3 days of consternation, 4 days of consternation, colorful swearing, by the way, we call that swearing over here. You said something that really intrigued me. You said you accepted it.
Yeah.
You accepted it. I don't know that is a common value that is shared around the world other than maybe with the Ukrainian people. The strength and the courage of the Ukrainian people. You've had to accept this before, right? You've had to accept that we're in it. There's a revolution. We want to be sovereign. We love our land. We love our history. We love our people. Talk about that acceptance in and amongst the Ukrainian people. Like we're seeing things that I've never seen in my life. Courage I have never seen in my life, from freedom fighters like this showing up to help, to hundreds of thousands of rounds of ammunition, man pads, rockets, equipment today. Just announced
Blockades without being armed, like stopping troops on the middle
with
of the
their
street
hands.
with their winter coats on. That's
Yeah.
it.
They're shooting warning shots in the air, and they're still
they're not
walking
moving.
up with
And
their
they're not
hands up.
flinching.
It's unbelievable for us
the
to see
resolve.
this.
Yeah,
Alex.
the resolve
It's
is
unbelievable.
incredible.
Take us through that courage of the Ukrainian people. Where do you get that from, and what is going on there? Because you guys had, we talked earlier today and prior to this, and you had this look on your face like, I'm not fucking going anywhere. No one is, by the way.
Yeah. Well, honestly, guys, I was reflecting on that, and the fact that I accepted it, I and probably many others accepted it so fast, was because this war is a continuation of our fight for freedom that started back in 2004. And you remember Orange Revolution?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I was an active participant in that. In fact, my office was in the heart of Kyiv, in Krishchatyk, and we made sandwiches, we did tea and coffee, and took it to the people there in the tents. And then 2014, another Maidan was a continuation of all of that. And now it's like a continuous process starting from 2004. So it's 18 years of fight for freedom. And for me, it was like, okay, so we've done that before. We are just doing it again on a higher level now. We protected Kyiv mostly at that point. Now we're protecting the entire country.
Mm-hmm.
And I talked within these 5 days that I went to supermarkets, to undergrounds, to the military. I talked to dozens of people, not hundreds, dozens of people. And everybody, every single person is absolutely sure that we are right. Every single person is absolutely sure we will win. I've never in my life seen that. Even in Maidan, it was just like there were people who are not so pro-European or pro, and now everybody, even those who used to be pro-Russian, they were like, what is going on? Why did they come to our land, to our peaceful land, and to kill us? No, we will defend ourselves. We will fight. Another
the entire world
visual for you
is
to just
sharing that sentiment.
Yeah, another visual for you to understand. I was on Saturday when I evacuated my family. We went to more peaceful places in Ukraine, and there was an almost empty village. No cars, no people, just a village. And I see a guy of like 60 plus years old, standing by his house, dressed up in a military uniform, with a gun in his hand.
Wow.
A guy in a village getting a gun, going to fight. Everybody stands in this country. Everybody stands.
The interesting thing, I mean, I know, we know a lot of Ukrainians. I mean, we live in like, I live in Alberta, and the prairies are well known for Ukrainians came here to farm years and years ago, and they maintained their culture and their language and their religion and their food, which, by the way, thank you. And the interesting thing about this is, to a man, if you talk to anybody with any Ukrainian heritage, you will be told that this is not a warmongering culture. This is not, the Ukrainians are peaceful. Do you think that is part of the reason why Putin thought that he could just walk in and take over your country?
Um, uh, let me just reflect on what you said about peaceful. Yeah, we are really peaceful, and the reason is that we are an agricultural nation. We have number one black soils in the world. The soils are so rich that you can just put a seed in it and sit close and do nothing, and it will just grow.
Yeah, huge grain export too.
Yeah,
Lots like worldwide grain export comes from Ukraine.
yeah. What I mean is that for a Ukrainian, give a Ukrainian just a piece of land, and that's it, and let them be there. But if anyone tries to come and take this land from them, they will fight to end. Otherwise, we are really, really peaceful. We would not stand, and we would not go and attack anyone. We would protect our land, but we will not attack anyone. The other part, why Putin started it. Putin lives in his alternative reality. He wants to recreate the USSR. He has this crazy idea, and he said it publicly, that he thinks that, in his opinion, the crash of the USSR was the biggest catastrophe of the 20th century. So he wants to recreate it. And this was a plan that he is systematically doing. And his plan is to get Ukraine, then to get Kazakhstan, and to get every other country that was split from the USSR. So he's just thinks about this. He's a rich man. He's a powerful man. Power and money are the biggest values for him. So is a totally different. He has a totally different set of values. For us, for Europeans, for Americans, for Westerners, the number one values are, life of people, being kind to each other, all those human values. Now we are dealing with a beast, with an asshole. I'm not going to be tolerant here. And an asshole who does not have any human thoughts, any human feelings. The guy who does not have a family. He doesn't have a family, even though we know that he is married, he has some kids. He never publicly accepts that he has a family. So here's a beast who comes to us to just grab our land and kill our people.
So when you have that attitude, right, is you're protecting culture, you're protecting yourself, you're protecting your heritage, your children, your land. He's protecting nothing. He's coming to take. Now, we've seen over here multiple videos, multiple reports, open source intelligence that says the Russian soldiers that are part of this invading party had no idea that they were coming here. They thought the Ukrainian people, they thought Alex Dayrabekov and every other Ukrainian would just say, "Great to see you. Thanks for coming in. Here's our stuff." That's not just a miscalculation, but when it comes to the misinformation that was given to those Russian soldiers, I saw a real, specifically with the Ukrainian people, real empathy when one would quit and he was hungry and he would, platoons of people with no food. And I don't have empathy for that. I do have empathy for them. But I mean, the evil that he's perpetrating, Putin, the asshole, as you call him, and thank fucking God you're not going to hold back, because I love that. But like the evil that's been perpetrated on human beings from Russia, and I know you're part Russian, and now the evil that's being visited on the Ukrainian people, is that lost on you as you fight these guys, as you try and protect your land? And like when you see that, both sides of that, like a really reticent group of army guys that are like, listen, we like, and I watched one this morning, an army commander, a Spetsnaz guy. He was like, We're the aggressors. We deserve to go to jail. I had no idea that this is what we were supposed to be doing. The Ukrainian people are our brothers and sisters. Does that complicate things for you?
Well, first, let me react to what you said about the fact that they didn't know. That's what I thought in the beginning. And on the first day of war, in the city of Gostomel, where the military airport is located, when the first Russian troops arrived, there was an incident. One of the Russian guys entered a supermarket to buy cigarettes. And when he came to the cashier, he produced Russian rubles. So the guy actually thought he was in Russia. So what you said that some of them actually didn't know they went to Ukraine. Some of them thought they were on a training. But now we know that now we know that another part, probably the biggest part, are now deceiving us, saying that they didn't know. In fact, they did. So a big portion of them actually did know where they go, but they were told, if you got caught, don't recognize that.
Yeah, we saw.
So that's a lie. That's a lie that's been perpetrated.
Yeah.
I apologize. I didn't know that. Sorry, Ryan. What
yes.
were you going to say?
No, sorry. Yeah. There's actually a script. Somebody has released the actual script that they had been handed, and somebody had translated it and shared it on social media to show that they were given the lines to use when they were captured to save their own ass, so that they thought they were gonna be murdered on capture, but Ukrainian soldiers are not there to murder people. They're there to protect their land. They don't want to kill Russians either.
Yeah,
but they've got they've been put in that spot. So it's the propaganda tools that have been used in this have been exceptional, and what it's done to the Russian people is beyond what we see here when we see fake news or Trump doing this or whatever convoy bullshit. What they're doing in Russia is crazy. Like, it's literally conditioning for decades and decades of conditioning them to get to this point. And and Alex is right. That's all Putin has been doing, is aiming. His aim from the day that he got there was to get that USSR back.
Locke?
Alex, we've seen a lot of video. This war is being fought on social media. And so North Americans are like, I'm constantly on Twitter and on my phone and watching videos, and we're sharing things and we're playing stuff on the podcast. And it's an interesting way to, from the outside looking in, to view what you guys are going through. And some of it's awful and some of it's inspiring, and we're all everybody is cheering for the Ukrainians around the world. You're not alone in the world for knowing that you're right. The one thing that I find very interesting about the Ukraine culture is your sense of humor. And maybe you can speak to this, but it's kind of dark.
You talking about the video where someone shoots a stinger at a tank and they come back and they're like, "Ooh!"
Yeah. Well, and then the guys that are sticking the code out on a stick and they're laughing like assholes. It's interesting that you guys have found a way to find some humor in what has to be the worst thing human beings can go through. Where does that come from?
That's a great question. That's a really surprise for me as well. But I told you guys about the stages that I went through. By the way, I forgot about the stage of anger. Really, I felt furious, not even anger, fury. I was furious at some point. But after these stages came through, crying, being furious, and all of this, we started laughing. And it seemed like the entire nation started laughing. But probably it's like, stages of acceptance.
Yeah.
Psychologists have to speak about that. But this is truly amazing. We didn't have it in the first Maidan. We didn't have it in the second Maidan. I don't know. That's a very interesting phenomenon. But it was really like, it was horrible news. But we laughed, me and my wife and all my relatives. We laughed. This joke
Yeah.
that one lady hit a drone, a military drone.
With the pickles. Yes. Yes.
Hold on. I didn't hear that story.
I
I didn't hear that
story.
story. What happened? An old lady threw a pickle jar at a drone and it took it out?
I said, don't mess with Eastern Europeans and pickled items, man. They will always win. Always.
It's so inspiring that and I got to tell you,
dude, can I show you this one picture? Let me dude, you're keeping us
as much as you do.
Yeah, I mean the energy that we get, and I call it big dick energy. You can call it whatever you want, but the big dick energy that we're getting for the Ukrainian people is incredible. Like this one. This was a drone that was shot down, and some Ukrainians like, I'm going to take the tailpipe, throw it on the motorbike, and pedal it home.
Sure. Mine now.
Have you heard another one? That the gypsies stole a tank from Russians.
Yeah. With the tractor.
Gypsies, yeah,
Oh, there's the one video on TikTok of this girl. She's 21, 22, and she's doing a TikTok video showing everybody how to start a Russian tank. And then she just drives away. She's going through the field. It's hilarious.
Oh, dude.
Oh my God.
How about this one? Like I went through, there's a couple of great Twitter handles. By the way, Alex is just his last name on Twitter. Go and follow him now. Because we got a couple of videos to put out that you played. But again, back to the humor of the Ukrainian people who give no fucks, by the way. This is
awesome.
The most incredible thing. Farmers, who are the lifeblood of the industry, which is the lifeblood of that country, agriculture, are literally just walking around hooking up to armed vehicles and tanks and MRLs, and they're just dragging them around going, here you go, give them to the army. Like this one. This is one of my favorite videos of, like, look at these guys honking, laughing. Look what we got. Look at these guys. It's
so
tank
good.
after tank, and one guy some boots, and the guys just go like, this is the what's this guy saying?
We got one.
What did he
We're
say
gonna
there,
go
Alex?
and get another one.
We're not done.
Yes, not done yet. That's funny.
Look at these guys. Yeah, it's like
It's amazing.
everything. Every video that cranks me up. Every single video is of just regular, everyday Ukrainians doing things together with the army, some foreign fighters. But it's like you can't fight that. Like you cannot. I keep watching that, and I'm like, dude, you have no idea where these guys are coming from. Everybody's working together. They're protecting their culture, their family, their land. You are going to lose, Vladimir Putin. Like, and when I look at this guy's face, look at him. He's smiling. He's like, fuck, whatever. Just whatever.
I just got a tank.
Yeah, and it's and I don't know if you've heard the numbers, but apparently the Ukrainian people have absconded with well over 400 to 500 different pieces of artillery.
Awesome, yeah.
Are you hearing the same thing? Obviously you are, and it's got to buoy your spirits, right, Alex?
Yeah. Oh, another one. Not a joke, by the way. I talked to a guy in Kyiv, just a regular guy. I had my tire blown, and I went to get it fixed. And he told me, "Did you hear that? In order to get to the army now, you got to pay a bribe. You got to pay a bribe to get to army now." It's not a joke. Because so many people want to go and fight. You got to pay a bribe.
Yeah, you got to bribe someone just to get into the army.
Like 40,000 people standing on the border right now from all over the world, apparently.
Oh, dude, they're in.
Yeah,
They're in.
or they're in now.
Did you?
Okay.
So this is the official tally. We have connections with some freedom fighters from Canada that are over there. By the way, well over 500. The total amount, I'm sure you know this, of people who have filtered into Kyiv to help fight for freedom, fight for democracy, to help fight against tyranny, to help fight against dictatorship, hate, evil, and darkness is well over 40,000. Did you know that?
Yeah, I heard 20,000, but I trust that could be more.
Yeah. We got this yesterday. 40,000 foreign fighters, military and ex-military, have made it to Kyiv. So many Canadians, they gave them their own battalion unit and training unit, 500 and growing. And this was the note that we got. This is from a Canadian who went over there. He has been at this for many years. Took us 5 days to get there. Finally in Kyiv. Guy says, holy fuck, heads down. They have enough ex-Canadian soldiers here who signed up that they made a battalion and gave them their own base to train from, 500 and growing, over 40,000 outside soldiers foreign. How does that make you feel? I mean, you're operating in a silo. Every day you go to bomb shelters and you get people comfortable and you help get supplies and you take food to the front lines. But as someone in the Ukraine who's currently fighting real tyranny, by the way, real tyranny, real dictatorship, when you hear those numbers, whether it's 20, whether it's 40, and then you see literally millions of pieces of ammunition come into the country to support, and then you hear, this just happened about an hour ago, Joe Biden and Poland reached a deal, U.S. and Poland reached a deal. And basically, every MiG that Poland has is being given to Ukrainian fighter pilots today. So, yeah.
You guys need the help in the air. I mean, because it's hard to watch. I mean, I know the success that the Ukraine people are having on the ground is remarkable, and your resilience and courage is being, I mean, it's being talked about all around the world. But we know that fight in the air is a battle for the Ukraine right now, and that's how they're actually maintaining to keep any control over anything in the Ukraine right now, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But when you hear those things, how does it, like, obviously as someone that's doing that, how does it make you feel? Like, you're buoyed, happy, like hopeful, those things?
Yeah. Once the sky is closed, we are pretty good with defending ourselves. We just need the sky closed. So good news. I missed that one. I didn't follow that one.
That just came down, Alex. Yeah,
it's brand new.
Excellent. Yeah. But when I hear that the International Legion, or whatever it's called, international troops are coming, of course it's psychological support. It's it's really cool to hear that Georgians, Canadians, U.S., British, Germans come here to fight. Polish come here to fight. That's a really good support. That's,
Alex,
I feel.
There's one story about a guy from the UK, ex-military, and he's a little bit long in the tooth, and he sat his wife down and he says, "I'm going bird watching," and then he got on a plane and he flew to Poland. And then he did an interview, and he's a little older, but he used to be a sniper 61. In the war. Yeah. Is this Sniper Wally? Is that what they're calling?
Yeah.
And they had a camera on him, and he said, "You're going to have to pixelate my face, because if my wife finds out I'm here, she's going to be pissed. I told her I was bird watching."
I didn't know that. I didn't hear that story. That is fucking hilarious. I would do the exact same thing, by the way.
Sniper Wally is what they're calling him.
Yeah. Have you a little story on this guy too? Wally's one of the best snipers. He arrived in Ukraine, French-Canadian, from the Royal Canadian 22nd Regiment, made his reputation during tours in Afghanistan, Syria, and Iraq. He fought the same Canadian unit as the sniper with the world's longest kill, 3.5 kilometers. So you do a little research. What does that look like? Well, here you go. The world's longest sniper shot. By the way, you got a couple of them that are in Ukraine right now, including Wally, who's over there bird watching, which is such a fucking great story.
It might be somebody else. It might not be Sniper Wally. I may have confused it.
You're thinking of the Irish guy?
Irish. Yeah. He's from the UK. I know that, right? Yeah, right. Yeah. And he told his wife he was going bird watching.
three of the top 5 longest kills at long range, 3.5 kilometers, is the longest Canadian. So you've got our best over there. They could fucking pick a poppy seed out of a Russian guy's tooth with a fucking bullet. So we're looking forward to it. But like, is this? When you hear it, obviously you're excited and you're looking forward to it. and well, not looking forward to it. You want this to be over, right? But what does this mean in terms of when you hear stories like, "Hey, we're getting planes. Hey, we're getting reinforcements." Do you guys have communication about that on the ground? Like, do you guys hear about these things, or you're finding some of this out from us?
No, we have all the official channels that communicate perfectly. By the way, in terms of informational war, even Russians recognize that we win. Ukraine wins the war, the informational war, the communication war. We have a number of official channels, and everybody knows. We are a self-organizing nation. For example, I have a group of my relatives, 15 people, and we communicate with them regularly. So I keep them updated on the most important things that are happening. I have a group with my Russian relatives who are pro-Putin, but I am, fighting with them on informational front line. I have a group with my Kazakhstan relatives, and some of them already accept and they understand that Putin was wrong, and they openly tell me this. Mm-hmm. So we are self-organizing, and this is one of the things why we are different from Russians. Mm-hmm. Russians are just a herd of very passive individuals who are deaf, who are blind, who are numb, and who are really lazy. So it's simple. They turned out to be a really weak army. As one of our experts, war experts say, the Russian army turned out to be weak.
Yeah, FSB.
They are just long.
Yeah,
they're just long. And we have to cut them in pieces.
Dude, one of the FSB guys, Ryan, was making mention of it. We'll have a post about it tonight. An intercept from an FSB guy sent it back to Putin, and it got intercepted, and it got disseminated around the world. And the basic gist of the letter was a situational report, where it's like, here's a set rep, here's what's going on down here in Ukraine. I could sum it up with like 2 words. We're fucked. That's literally what the leaked memo said. It's like, we got no food. The Ukrainians are super smart. They're just blowing up our fuel trucks and we can't go anywhere. Oh, by the way, no one rotated the tires on any of the army vehicles, so they're all exploding. And they're just picking us off left, right, and center. In my estimation, he said, this is a loss and we need to stop. So he's now disappeared. No one knows where he is. But that's what you're fighting, right? It's in a great explanation. Someone told me the other day, they're like, the Russian army, watch what happens. There are 3 dressed as a 9. So that misinformation that you talk about, where everybody was like, we're so afraid of the big Russian bear. The big Russian bear is sort of like a puppy, that like a mangy dog that has been left out in the cold for a long period of time. And since 2014, since 2004, and specifically 2014, the Ukrainian people have literally been preparing for this, right?
I hope we didn't lose them.
I hope so too.
Yeah, freezes up every once in a while. It's
in a war-torn country right now.
I was just going to say, give
the Wi-Fi a break.
They're going through some things over there. So
yeah.
Wow, what a great
log out and come back in again.
There we go.
Yeah, come back in. There we go, Alex. There we go. Sorry, did you get that whole question, Alex?
No, I lost you.
Okay,
I lost you guys. Sorry.
No problem. Can you guys remind me what I asked? So we can go.
Yeah, you were just asking whether or not, if the information about the army, the Russian, and what they actually are. Mm-hmm. Is that something that we're just hearing here, or is it well known in Ukraine that they might be a little less than the big bear that they claim to be?
Yeah, it's known. There's jokes about it. We joke about the enemy. They are still big. They are like the entire army. Russian army is what 900,000 people. The troops of 150 were collected, and all of them are in our land now. But we are not afraid, and we know how to fight with them. There was a prepared plan to fight with them, and we will gradually destroy the entire army. That's what the feeling is.
Awesome.
That's what I was asking. Like, you guys, since 2014, you have been preparing for this. This is like whether or not it's been upgrading all your ammo to better training, to military exercises, to conscription to some extent. But like, this is, while Russia was like, this is just who we are. We're the big bad wolf in the fucking Bay Area. You guys have been hunkering down, building infrastructure, learning how shit works, building up your army and your infrastructure. Do you think that they weren't prepared for that?
They were not. The plan was, Putin's plan was to psychologically attack us. What I told you guys in the first day, the airplanes over my apartment building, the plan was to put fear in our heads.
Intimidation,
fear. But instead, they called for fury. That's the feeling that I, as a regular Ukrainian, felt, and everybody else also. Anger and fury. We were not afraid. We were angry, and we were furious. And that's what they didn't expect. They didn't expect it.
It's interesting with the disinformation. I mean, we're getting dips and drabs of it in Canada as well. And is there anything that Putin, even just something small, that he could have hung his hat on with respect to, let's say he wasn't just lying to his people all the time? Is there anything about what the Ukrainians have been going through in the last 5, 10, 15, 20 years that would give him any indication that he needed to step in and take over? Was there support for Russia and
in Ukraine?
In Ukraine, or parts of it? No, eh?
Everything. Well, if there was a support, it was all
fake.
Fake, yeah. Because there's no country like Russia. There is no country like Russia. There is a collection of people under a in a fake world that was created by a group of criminals. They are criminals.
They're gangsters.
Putin and they are gangsters. This cooperative, this Lake Cooperative, the guys who he had known for years. Yes, the oligarchs. This is criminals. This is a mafia that used their own people for their own wealth, and they just wanted to spread this to other countries. And it's all fake. Before our talk with you guys, I turned on the television and I happened to see a Russian channel. I couldn't stand 5 minutes of that bullshit and lies. It was complete lie.
What were they
just
saying?
Like they continue saying the same stuff, that they are winning, that that there's nationalists in Ukraine, Nazis, neo-Nazis. They continue the same old story. By the way, there's a list of pro-Russian Telegram channels, and from day one of the war, I started browsing them. It's really hard. It's disgusting. It's like a big piece of shit. And it's really disgusting to look at it. But I was just browsing through it from the first day, just to understand what is the other, picture. And to tell you the truth, the general feeling is that there's nothing that they can be proud of. That there's nothing they can tell the world. Not the world. They are Russian people. They try to lie. They continue lying, but there's nothing. No victories at all.
Yeah.
They started speaking about Taiwan at some point. What? Taiwan? Because they're like, and China wants to get Taiwan, by the way, because they don't have any victories here. So
And it's funny because it makes like the disinformation stuff that we deal with with COVID and all the QAnon bullshit. It makes it like pale in comparison when you talk to guys like Alex, right? Because Alex, you've got friends in Russia, you got family in Russia, and the disconnect is incredible. You were saying, by the way, like I hope there's wine in that glass, but the disconnect is incredible. No vodka, maybe. But the disconnect is incredible because like when you talk to your Russian relatives and you say, here's what's happening, and you send them pictures like these pictures of your home that was absolutely throttled. The pictures of your community with fucking massive missile holes and RPG holes and buildings that are bombed out. These are all from Alex, by the way. This is where you live. This is your apartment building. This is your home. This is again your home. This is where you live, and it doesn't stop. The pictures and that you send them, like the real stuff. Picture the video of you packing your car and saying, this is all we have. Now we're leaving. And you tell them about your bomb shelter experience. You tell them about feeding people in the front lines, the videos that they see of dead soldiers, the videos of carnage. When you say this is what's happening, what do they say to you?
They keep silence.
This is your family.
Yes. At some point, they sent to me hearts.
Oh my God.
Emojis.
Yeah.
Thoughts and prayers.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy.
Cowards, right? And I don't mean to
are they
sewer your
scared?
family.
Are they scared? Are they scared to say anything? Or
one of my younger relatives wrote to me privately. She said, "Uncle Alex, I understand I support the country, but you know that if I call what is happening a war, I'm gonna be imprisoned for 15 years. You know, this law that they just accepted. So they cannot even call it a war."
It's insane.
Yeah.
I read a report today. I guess Alexei Navalny had, whoever is running his Twitter account, had put a poll out in Moscow only when this started, and the support for the Russian invasion was astronomical. Like it was off the charts. 10 days later, 2.5 times the amount of people that denied the idea of it being good, or said that it wasn't good, increased. Like it was an increase. So they're getting the message slowly, I think, and they're maybe coming out of that 22-year sleep, and their eyes are finally getting to open. But we're very young in this fight right now. It's very early, so it's taking time for the House of Cards to come down, for Wizard of Oz to come out from behind the curtain, and you find out that it's all a bunch of bullshit. So just to see that, it's almost like it was like a glimmer of hope for us watching from afar, going, maybe Russia will get it. Maybe the Russian people will start to wake up and see, the internet. And that's like, why else would they shut the internet off? Of course they're going to shut the internet off, because they're going to get the real story.
Yeah, March 11th, by the way, Russia shuts off the global internet March 11th. And I mean, it's just it's North Korea, right? It's North Korea. That's what it's kind of turned into.
It's one of the poorest countries in the world. Yeah. Right? Because all their wealth is basically controlled by a handful of people, comparatively speaking. Yeah. I think, Alex, what we're seeing is a slow disintegration of an ability by that country to lie to its citizens. And I think that, and again, I don't know how you guys as Ukraine feel about the sanctions that are being put on Russia from around the world. And at first, I'll be honest, I thought, man, like just go in there and help them, like give them guns and bombs and help them blow shit up and fight back. Enough with the sanction bullshit. But the thing that sets this apart from what has happened in the past with countries that have invaded, against international rule, the sanctions have been just crippling and across the board. I don't know if you are hearing about the news from outside of Ukraine, what the rest of the world is doing to Russia, but it's everything. It's from companies pulling out operations in Russia.
And McDonald's pulled out today.
Yeah, it's everything.
Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Apple Pay, Netflix, dumping like massive interest in oil and gas companies. When you guys, is it working? When you hear about sanctions, are you like, yeah, that's nice. We'd like some javelins and some blankets, though.
Look, guys, I'm kind of intelligentsia here, and I'm an intelligent guy, and I know I was mentally prepared to the war. I just didn't expect it to happen. But on the day one of the war, I wrote to my friend, and he is my friend. He's very pro-Russian, and he lives in Crimea, in Russia, in the annexed Crimea. And I wrote to him, "You are fucked. Your country is fucked," because I understood that the sanctions are a more important and more powerful power than any tanks or missiles or whatever. And he couldn't believe me. And I told him, "I'm telling you as a friend, just go to your ATM, cash all the money that you have, and exchange to dollars." And he didn't listen to me. Now the dollar raised what it would hit the
ruble just
the ruble. Yeah, the ruble.
Yeah,
the ruble.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that the sanctions will work, and I really trust President Biden. President Biden said it would take time. It would take 2 months for the sanctions to actually be a full effect.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that we as a nation have to stand for those 2 months until the sanctions actually make full effect.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Party is party like in Canada. Are you familiar with the term Schadenfreude?
No.
Schadenfreude. It's when you take great joy out of bad things happening to bad people.
It's a feeling.
Yes,
So when your friend, here's a question:
it's a feeling.
when your buddy who's pro-Russian, you send him a note. Which, by the way, I never would have done. Like if I'm you, I'm like, nah, fuck him. He can lose all his money. I don't care. He backed the wrong horse. But like, was part of you when you watched the ruble go down, and pro-Putin, pro-Russian people who have accrued great wealth in this thing, is part of you like?
Yeah.
Alex, how do you say "I told you so" in Ukraine?
Я ж казав.
You might want to type that to him. Send. Yeah.
Put it on the side of the buildings.
Yeah. You're safe. You're with your wife and your son, right? You have a son or a daughter? 3-week-old?
Son. It's my third one. It's a son.
Third one. What's his name?
Artur, like the king.
Artur.
That's my name too.
How is he?
Oh.
How's your wife?
My wife cried. My wife. It was hard for her. She keeps asking, why is that? Why is that? And sometimes she asks really simple questions that I don't know how to answer, but they are really right. Yeah, it's hard. We experience together. This is our war. We are together in this war, and she supports me. Well, when I asked her, I wanted to consciously, as an adult, to agree with her that I have to be there, and she took it with cries and hysteric, I'd say. But then she accepted it, and she would even, she would say goodbye to me. She would kiss me goodbye, and then when I would come home, she would hug me, and that was so nice. And she would call me, "How are you?" And I would call her from Kyiv, and it was sometimes quite dangerous situations. Like I don't know what it is translated into English. Diversion, развитие. So they were in Kyiv. There's groups of special folks who were supposed to do some terrorist attacks, and I was driving my car, and the police stopped one of them right in front of me. So I saw them. So it was quite. No, it was not so safe, honestly. But she was afraid that I could be bombed. The bomb could hit me. So I told her, turn on your logic. If I'm staying in one place, what is the probability that I'm hit by a bomb? Let it be like this, right? But if I move in the city, is the probability like this or it's less? She's like, yeah, it is less.
What do you want to tell Alex? What do you want to tell the West? What do you want to tell Canadians? How we can help? What can we do to an individual to help you, to help the Ukrainian people? When you say it would be really lovely if the Canadian people or North American people were activated to do this, it would help us immeasurably in a small way.
Shove a bomb up Putin's ass.
Other than that,
That's step 2. Yeah.
Well, I'm rational, Well, first, if what you said about the airplanes, this is already a very good push on closing the sky. We need to close the sky, and everything the West can do to close the sky is good. This is number one, that we need. Well, second, any support from whoever in Ukraine is good. When I receive dozens of emails, messages from friends, from people whom I haven't seen for 20 years, and so nice, and it's so supportive, and I typically tell them thank you, and I give them, if you can donate anything, that's good. If you can just help me to get the word out, please do. If anyone of you knows some Russians, just speak with them. They are isolated now in the informational bubble. We need to break through this bubble. Speak to them. Yeah, and that's it. Help us, support us, and we will win in this war.
Will.
Everybody I talked to, I came up to an 18-year-old, very slim girl in a supermarket, and I just asked her, "What do you think?" And she said, "What? They will be fucked off." Even this little kid knows that everybody is sure we will win. We just
so
need
are
to
we.
stand.
Yeah,
So are we, and like I said to you, in our phone call today, you and I are going to text back and forth, and I'm going to keep sending you content that'll make you laugh when you're fucking on the road going, I probably shouldn't look at this, but the cops aren't pulling me over for dangerous driving, so no big deal. But you and I are going to become friends, and we are your friend, and you are our friend, and we are Ukraine. And we are with you, and we support you, and every single time you get in your car and you go to help other people, know that there are a bunch of really dumb white guys on the other side of the world that are like, let's go, Alex, let's go, Ukraine. And it's not just us. There's 35 million people in this country that are absolutely behind the effort to keep the people of Ukraine free, to keep your country sovereign, and to give you the peace that you absolutely deserve. So, and real quick, just to buoy your spirits, you said, if it's true, get a load of this. Poland, this is like 32 minutes ago, Poland ready to place all of its MiG-29 jets at the disposal of the United States.
Literally 20 minutes ago. Yeah.
Right?
Awesome.
Yeah. There you go. Now you can go to bed with a smile on your face because help's coming from above.
Yes.
It's a way to skirt the NATO thing, and I hope the people of Ukraine don't think that the West has abandoned them in their cries for the closing of the skies and the no-fly zones. Because if it was up to us, if we were the ones making the decisions, it would have been done 13 days ago. But the repercussions are beyond our control, or even our leaders' controls. And you can see them; they're reserved,
struggling,
and just trying to get the words out right, saying we want to but we just can't do it that way. So now they're finding creative ways to do it, and I think that's fucking brilliant. That's so good.
And President Zelensky is not just a folk hero in Ukraine; he's a folk hero around the world.
Here, yeah,
Everyone is just is ringing his praise, and he's right. You know what? I think it's bullshit that you guys haven't become a member of NATO, and I think at some point, once the dust settles, they got to pull their heads out of their asses, and they got to make sure that that happens.
Now you're part of the EU.
I hope he gets his way.
Yeah. Alex, people can get a hold of you on Twitter at DAYRABEKOV.
I retweeted it. I retweeted his tag. Yeah.
We're going to stay in touch. You've agreed to journal with us and blog a little bit, write about your experience. We're very grateful and thankful. We've opened up our platform to you and your friends. And if you have any concerns at all, we're here. But man, take us with you. Put us in your pocket. Put us in your heart when you go out there. And very, very, very grateful that you took time to do this. I know it's closing in on 1:10 in the morning there. So you go and be with your family and know that help is coming. And we're there. We're with you in spirit.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. It's very inspirational, and thank you for your support in this talk.
Yeah.
Our pleasure. Thank you. You're the inspiration here. We're just a couple of lugs trying to get through it. So appreciate you, brother. We'll talk to you soon.
Talk to you. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Take
That
care,
is
Alex.
Alex Dayrabekov. He is he's Ukrainian Russian, lives in Ukraine, and how about that, boys?
That was amazing. That was
fighter.
I have no words.
Rook, how did that come together? I saw it in the DMs that he was going to be on, and I was like, why did we get that? How the hell do we get? That's one of the coolest things we've ever done on this podcast, in my opinion.
You're muted there.
Sorry,
fella.
you're going to have to turn your. I got you.
Oh,
Buddy.
am I
Go
here
ahead
now?
and talk. Hello.
Yeah,
Hi there.
Am I on? Test 1 2.
Am I unmuted? Am I here?
Lock
Check
Junior,
1
you're
2.
good.
Check 1 2.
Testicles.
The arsonist had oddly shaped feet. Speaking of white lugs, hi, how's it going, everyone?
How you doing, big fella? How did we get in touch with Alex? That kind of came out of the blue today.
How did we get whiter?
It happened fast.
Well, first, I think we just have to thank the person who basically gave us the lead, which is Tara Graves. It's
From the
a friend
podcast.
TNT podcast. I'll read her the DM from her today that she sent. Actually, it's on our personal one that Ryan sent over.
Yeah, she sent it to me.
Thanks for telling us exactly where it came from, like we needed to know.
Yeah.
Our audience needs to know.
Sorry.
Come on, man. Basically said she needs to get a message to me. It's a friend of mine, somebody my sister knows, currently living in Ukraine where things are crazy. He wants to share what's actually going on. He asked if we knew any media people. What just so happens I do. Might be great content. Worth reaching out to this guy to make sure that he checks out. It could be an excellent firsthand experience of what's happening in Ukraine. And she gave me all of his information. And I phoned him as soon as I got the message, and then followed up with Dean. Dean was obviously all over it. He had a pre-interview with him, and now we're here.
Yeah.
What a
Because I'm
fucking
still
amazing guy. Like,
fuck, dude.
so good.
Yeah. I was like skittish, right? Because we've had so many people over the past couple months go, "Hi, I'm this person. Let me be interviewed on your show. Where do you live so I can come into?" And you're like, "You're not fucking. I know what you're doing." So I called him. Lock. Like this stuff. I was in the middle of a meeting and on the phone, and Chris is like, "You got to call me." So I call him, and I talk to him, and he's telling me what's going on. And in the background, I hear noises. I'm like, "What that?" He goes, "It's just the war." He's come back from
No
Kyiv.
bigs.
And I thought, wow, like what? How I was nervous, right? I was nervous to talk to the guy because of the sensitivity involved, and he's got friends that are no longer with us. His homes are all gone.
Yeah.
And it's war, right? And then
we
he
have no
pops on.
concept. We have no fucking concept of this.
That's what I said to him
None
on
of
the
us.
phone today. I'm like, dude, we don't
None
get
of
any
us.
of this.
We don't
We don't
do
get
this.
it.
This is just not this is just not what we like. I mean, I'm joking, but I'm wearing slippers right now because my feet get cold in the basement. Like, I'm a big fucking pussy. Like, and this guy is driving into a war zone every day with blankets and tea, right? Leaving his wife and his young family.
3 weeks old, that baby.
3 weeks old, leaving his wife and his young family, his kids, so that he can go help people fend for themselves in a country that's being blown up.
Would you ever accept this? Like, that's the thing that blew my mind the most in that interview. He's like, at first I cried like a baby for days, couple days, and then I was angry, furious for a couple days, and then I swore for a couple days. Then I accepted it. I got to roll. Got to do this.
And they laughed.
Keep calm and carry on. And then he talked about in 2004 the Orange Revolution and how it's like, this is just an extension of that. We've been waiting for it. Like, we don't get that shit. And then we've got fucking lunatics screaming about their freedom in hot tubs in front of Parliament.
Well, they can't get into Denny's without a fucking mask on. So.
Right?
Yeah.
I can't go do karaoke because I'm not vaccinated. Let's invade the Capitol. Like, we do not have we don't have an understanding.
Shut the fuck up. That's all I have to say to all of you. Just shut the fuck up. Listen to that interview with Alex.
You're talking to us.
Well, that's the thing too.
No, I'm talking to people that are like pissed off that they gotta fucking wear a mask. Shut the fuck up.
I feel like it's important though that we bring an interview like that that's unfiltered in a firsthand account to people so they can hear stuff like this.
I think
that's
it's good
part
for
of it,
him
and
to
that's
do.
your life. Get some
Yeah,
perspective.
and that's part of our duty as what we're doing. And that's why we're going to open up the network to him. All of our socials, blogging, anything he wants, all of our people, all of our resources we have of what we can do to basically amplify his message.
Yeah.
And that's the key.
It tells you a lot about a person when they've lost everything in their life and now all of a sudden they're laughing with their wife about it, like you say, like, what the fuck? What else can we do? They're so grateful for what they do have that matters. That stuff doesn't matter, and that's something to envy. I think that's an envious human. That's an envious soul. You know what I mean? Like, his soul is right.
Can you imagine being like you know? Let me just, if I can, perspective is everything, right?
Yeah.
And my kids and I were sitting around talking about the war yesterday. And they're old, they're like 22, 18, 16. Good kids, young men, alpha men that like to help others. That's an alpha man. And someone who tries to understand the complexity of the world because it's authentically complex. This is authentically difficult to understand. But while we were talking about what's going on in Ukraine, my youngest guy was like, so I've never seen this before. Like, I've read about it in books. And he said, do you know anybody over there? And I go, well, we're not really. We've got some military guys over there that are, we're hoping to get in touch with, that are kind of feeding us information, but not really. And my son said to me, and it was prescient. It was like, wow, fuck, I don't know where this came from. My youngest guy said to me, we're pussies, eh, Dad? I said, yeah, we are. Because he said, I was sad this morning that I didn't get the same lunch time because they've got staggered lunches at his school. And it really bothered me, and I was really bummed out for like 2 hours. Now I cannot believe I was such a pussy, right? And that's all I see now. I laugh because Chris did an article last week, right? And the article, which is fucking unbelievable, it got huge traction, started major fights online, and it was about the chip war in Canada. Chipgate. Is your chip aisle empty at your local grocery store? Yes, and here's why. So Chris lays out this big fight between Loblaws.
Lays out. Hey.
I didn't even get that, Dean. Nice work. If
that's why
was
you're
an accident. if that was an accident, you're just so that's just
Hall of Fame worthy right there.
He's just
Not
ruffling your feathers, Locke.
Yeah,
that's
that's
all.
right. Yeah.
Whoa, Ryan.
Hey, take it easy, Miss Vicky.
Wow.
What? You're no old Dutch. What? So there's this big chip war brewing among
Racist.
Loblaws and all the Loblaws companies. And Galen Weston owns everything from Shoppers Drug Mart to No Frills, all the bullshit, right? So I'm reading through the thread because Chris puts this up, and it's a big fucking deal here, boys.
Oh yeah.
Friday, La Presse reports that Frito-Lay stopped filling orders last weekend after Loblaws refused to accept their price increases. The move stopped shipments, which Financial Post has confirmed means Frito-Lay's extensive roster of snacks, including Doritos, Lay's, Cheetos, Smart Food, Munchies, and Sun Chips,
Not going to believe this.
isn't flowing to Loblaws' network of more than 2,400 stores across Canada. Loblaws, which owns No Frills, Shoppers, Drug Mart, Value Mart, says it conducts detailed reviews on price requests. Quote, this can lead to difficult conversations in extreme cases.
Oh my God.
Now this, the fighting that went on in this thread over chips and the war on chips and fuck you, you can get great value chips are just as good and way less at Walmart, you asshole. I'm going, oh my God, there's a war.
Can you do
real
me?
war.
Can you
Like
do me
a human war, not a chip
just-
war going on here.
Indulge me for a second.
Chips.
Today they brokered more peace talks to get funneling people out. Can you put that graphic back up again really quick?
Yeah.
So they just to get safe passage for these people to get out of Ukraine into Poland, or not that one, but the actual text.
Yeah.
And you can literally take this. This can lead to difficult conversations, and in extreme cases, they don't ship our products. Like, it's literally the same amount of importance is put on these fucking chips.
The same emphasis, the same language.
The same language
Yeah,
is
and
being
those people are
used.
just trying to get out of the country, and Russia bombed them.
Yeah. Oh, you
Yeah.
know what?
Yeah.
Hold it. It
Holy
gets
fuck.
worse. It gets worse. The Financial Post really gaslighting the chip war. Quote, so just imagine this is the Ukraine and not chips. The episode marks an escalation in tensions in the Canadian supermarket business,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
has
you're
been
right.
in turmoil during the pandemic
you're
over
totally
claims that the biggest grocers have used their dominance in the market to squeeze their suppliers.
Literally.
Holy fuck, man.
I gotta.
Have you
defend
seen
Rook,
these
though.
pictures?
Yeah.
Have you guys seen those fucking pictures? You're going to argue about not being able to get your favorite disgusting Sun Chips, by the way, are the most fucking heinous crime of a chip
Don't hate a
you're
Sun
on the
Chip.
planet.
Don't get
Oh, they're
angry at a
the
Sun
worst.
Chip.
The
Garden
fucking
salsa
worst.
sun chips are fucking
Ah,
fire.
Number one stoner snack.
Garbage.
Sun,
Sun
chips are good
garbage.
when that mix, when they throw it in the bag with all the other ones.
Garbage.
I got to defend Rook, though. Can I just defend Rook quickly, Dean?
Yeah.
Because we were having a pre-conversation
face.
before one of our podcasts. Good to see your nose healing up. We were
Still
having
not
a-
fully though.
No, I know.
Still there.
Look at that fucking heater. It's still
We're on week 4. We're on week 4.
Yeah. And he was like, I don't think I can do this. I blogged about chips. I can't do this. There's a war happening right now. And I believe Dean said, no, fuck, put it up. So Chris had it in his back of his mind that the pettiness of what he was trying to accomplish with this blog in the midst of what we're going through in the world that we live in right now. And Dean completely dismissed his concerns and said, nope, people need this right now. It's important. Put the fucking blog up.
Chip war. I got to
It's
understand the war
also
on chips.
important to give perspective, to show
A little
us
bit,
how
right?
fucking
Yeah.
stupid we are and how fucking
Yeah.
petty we are and how frivolous our problems in the West can be.
Oh, by the way, he did ask me because he put up another blog. Chris is a fucking great blogger, by the way. Chris Rook,
Yeah.
rookie. So he put up another blog and he sent me the same note. He's like, should I put up this blog about a super hot Ukrainian chick who started an OnlyFans account just to make money for the Ukrainian soldiers? I'm like, you're goddamn right, you should.
It's your fucking
And you know what?
patriotic duty.
He's just
I
like,
don't-
be yourself. I'm like, that hasn't gotten me
Anywhere. Yeah.
really anywhere great sometimes. So, but sure, let's go.
I think I said that with one of my kids one time. And
I
my
want all
wife
the
looked at
smoke.
me and went, that's awful advice. Look at what it's done for you.
Be yourself.
Yeah.
No one else. Speaking of being yourself, I had an amazing phone call last night. Let me get some music here. I had an amazing phone call last night.
Before you get into that, I just want to say your kid's going to be okay. Yeah, your kid, if he's that aware
my kid?
of himself,
Dude, he's awesome.
Yeah,
My kids are awesome.
That's awesome. You need to be proud of that. The fact that he's aware that we're all pussies, and that he's aware of what his contribution to Pussydome is good. He's going to be good. That it's all you can ask for. A little bit of fucking awareness is all you can ask for.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate that. We try hard. At least I try hard. Well, it's a deal over in this family. I do all of it. I do all the common sense stuff over here. It works. So I get a phone call last night, and it's Lachlan Cross, and he's like, "How you doing?" I said, "Good." He's like, "Got time for a story?" I said, "Sure." And we have great talks. Like, Lach and I are pals. We both feel like the world would be a better place if everybody individually just tried to be a bit of a better person every day, and we both work on that. So that's why we get along so well. Right, Lach?
I think so, yeah. The conversation probably didn't need to go an hour and a half. I peed twice. I was pretty drunk, too, by the time that ended.
Your wife played a Jedi mind trick on you that fucked you up yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
And
do that sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's why I'm not married. I don't want that. I don't want that kabuki in my life. I don't.
Kabuki.
Yeah. Look what happened to your nose. You never listen to me. Take me through it, because this is like, it was like you talked about self-awareness before. I'm like, holy fuck, Locke is becoming a sage almost. Not really.
Wow. I'm still pushing back on this because I refuse to believe what she told me.
Okay.
But I still haven't been able to explain to her what this is for me. She's already decided it. She's dead set that this is what it is. And I keep telling her, we've had the conversation. I've tried to revisit it a couple of times to convince her she's wrong, and she'll have none of it.
Tell the story.
So we have a dog. His name is Kingston Clarence Cross. We got him. He's about a year old, and he's awesome. He's a silver lab. He's got a lot of energy. He is fucking destroying our house. Chews everything. And we try to take him for a walk every day, and we're pretty good at it. If I go out, I like if I can't, she does. We go together quite often, and we're on a walk on Sunday. And she says, "Where do you want to go?" And we live in an area where there's lots of sort of paths and whatnot around us that we can take the dog for a walk. And he's just happy. He doesn't matter. He's just like, let's go. We're out. And so I say, well, let's do the Locke and Kingston route. So we start, and it's about 35, 40 minutes, right? Which is a good length of time for him to walk, and he'll crash at night if we get that walk in. And we're about halfway through, and she looks at me and she goes, "Have you ever done this the other way around?" And I went, "No."
Like let the dog walk you mean?
No. Go the other way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I said, "No, I always go this way because it's the right way to go." And she goes, "Why?" And I went, "Because it's the right way to go." She goes, "You could go the other way around." And I'm like, "No, but I'm going to go this way every time. I could go that other way, but this is the right way to go." And she goes, "You have a fucking problem." And
she asked you how it made you feel.
No,
right?
She said, "Now, how do you feel about even thinking about the idea of going the other way around?" And I said, "I got to be honest with you. I'm a little bothered by it." And she goes, "That's anxiety, you asshole." And I went, "No, it isn't. I haven't got anxiety. That's not anxiety. You're creating something that isn't real." And so I brought this up with a bunch of people because I'm trying to figure out what it is, and everyone keeps telling me it's fucking anxiety, that I can't go the other way around. So I'm getting no support. I'm getting no support from my friends, including Dean, who goes, no, that's anxiety. You have fucking anxiety. He goes, "You're giving me anxiety about the idea of going the other way around, and I don't even know the fucking route."
No, it's not.
I don't think so.
She just needs to go. She just needs to leave now. Leave you and the dog and your route, and everything will be fine. You don't have anxiety. You're fine.
Last time I checked,
Linge, don't do that to him.
Last
Thank
time
you,
I checked,
Ryan.
Locke, in the beginning of the
Love you.
story, you said it was Lachlan and Kingston's route. I didn't hear your wife's name in that route.
Yeah.
Thank you, rookie. See,
Once
this
again,
is the support I needed, not the support
Chris-
I got from you. Lack of support I got from you last night, Dean, which was like totally,
He's a
dude.
fucking
You have
Hey, Ryan.
anxiety.
Hey, Ryan.
You totally
I know.
sold me down the river, and and Grant and Jimmy both went fucking. No, you totally have anxiety. You're nuts. And then people
dude.
started texting in things that I need to start doing. One of them was like 1,000 milligrams of lithium a day,
What?
and then I need to
fuck.
microdose. I need to meditate.
Microdose? Because you
I
don't
had
walk the other way?
30. Yeah, and I don't understand. Like, listen, I could right now. I could get off this podcast, put the leash on the dog, and I could go the other way, but I won't.
No, now you're just proving a point. See, that's
so why?
That's normal. Good for
Why
you.
won't you go the other way?
Because now I'm bothered.
But why are you bothered? How does that make you
I-
feel? Makes you
listen.
feel stressed out, right? So that's stress. So let me walk this back. What you feel qualifies as anxiety. What you're dealing with is probably
Anxiety.
OCD born,
Yeah.
right? So the OCD comes from a specific way and not that way, and it bothers you because you know the way and you know there's probably no danger the way that you have been going in that way. So
Ryan is
to
ready
you,
to
anything
snap.
else is danger. What's his problem?
I
He
think
doesn't want to
he's
get
I
better
think
in life.
Is Ryan
He's
got
got it.
OCD? We
Yeah.
haven't
The
really
stories-
explored
Big
that.
time. Big
The
time.
story's giving him anxiety.
So Ryan, now I'm glad that you're here for this. You clearly have the same psychopathy that Lachlan
Absolutely not.
does.
I am not ever telling you guys that the exact same thing happened to my wife and I when we moved here, and she takes the dog one way and I take him the other way, because you're fucking wrong, and you're not a doctor.
Yeah,
And-
you are, man. You guys both have shit.
Lachlan,
Everyone's
take your
got
fucking,
shit.
Just take your headphones out, grab a beer.
You guys sit around. People sit around.
I
and
don't
they're
have
like,
any anxiety.
I'm fine. I got nothing going on. And then all of a sudden they get that spike or that pain, and they're like, "What's this feeling?" And someone you love goes, "Maybe it's a little anxiety," and you're like, "Fuck that. That's for handicapped people. I don't have
Yeah.
that."
I just have a drinking problem.
Yeah.
I don't need drugs.
No.
Anyway, yeah. We lost.
No, I'm here.
His
I
wife's
do
in
the
the
same.
room.
I do the same thing, but I go left, and my excuse is that I'm walking because I want to look at the escarpment while I'm walking, not a bunch of houses.
Oh, you lie.
To myself, I guess.
Yeah. So you guys all have anxiety. Here's the fucking breaking news. Everyone in the world gets it. So it's okay to go, yeah, that gives me anxiety, I don't want to go that way because I don't know what's that. It's fear of the unknown. That's where it comes from. Fear is false evidence appearing real. I know it's an acronym, but that's what it is. So you're
I didn't
afraid
know
of going
fear
that way.
was
Oh, yeah.
an acronym.
Oh yeah,
It's
it is
funny. I have little things that I do. I have to set up my workspace a certain way. The screens have to be all lined up, and I have to.
You do have OCD tendencies, though. You talk about that ring thing all the time.
Yeah, I can't wear a ring when I'm on the podcast. I'm fine, but I got to take off
Shots
all my
fired.
jewelry. Yeah.
Yeah, see?
See now, Ash.
Can we block her from the post, like from the
Yeah.
channel? Or
Do you want me to
Your
put her
wife-
in a timeout?
Your wife just came in. No, I love her. Your wife just came in and she's like, "It's
Let's block
still the wrong way,
Ashley.
asshole."
Let's do that.
Why do I want to block her now so badly?
See?
I have to take the dog out after this, and I'm going to go the other way just to
do
prove
it.
that I don't have
You
anxiety.
won't. You're scared.
I'm
Well,
going.
you'll be,
the other
dude.
way.
Your hands will sweat the entire walk when you go the other way.
There's
That's what
nothing the
Lachlan
other
wants
way
to
for
avoid.
you,
Thinking
Rookie. Just
about
go the
it
way you like.
has me.
I want to
like,
go the way I like because I want to
wound
look
up,
at the escarpment.
Well, because you know what, you know why it's wound you up? Because she might be right. You might have to. Your goal in life is to be a better person, and what she's saying to you is like, "Hey, listen, I know this is a problem for you." She fucking Jedi mind tricked you. She Yoda'd you yesterday. She
Yeah.
did something to you that really sent you down. And you know, instead of going, "Fuck, you fucked me up," now I'm thinking there's something wrong with me. Maybe you go, I should look into this, because as your friend, you know when those people go on American or Canadian Idol back when it was a thing, and they're like the terrible singers, like they come to embarrass themselves, everybody at home laughs, the judges laugh, get out, and they leave the room, no ticket, and the mom's like, "What happened, babe? You're a great singer." That's what Ryan's doing for you, and you're doing for him, and everybody's doing for each
I
other.
love
You're
it.
like,
Okay,
you're sitting in it instead
You're
of
safe
going,
here.
"I'm fucked," just like Dean. Let's get going.
You're
Here's-
safe here.
Here's what I will say.
Right here.
I have
You
won
saying
a couple
that
of
in that with your voice that made me feel safe. I do
Come
feel
to
safe
daddy.
here.
You're fine.
Rook, you're not okay. You're in
I'm
trouble.
a hugger.
And
I
there's
got
a
a
lot of
big
things that
hug.
we need to work on with you.
Get both
But-
of you
Love
in
it.
on it.
Let me just
How
say
long
this.
do you have?
Let me just say this. Okay.
Yeah.
As a man who is married to a very, very intelligent woman who basically took the brunt of raising the kids, like she took the man hours of the raising the kids. Running the house pretty much falls on her. I've succumbed to the idea that my place in this house is minimal, that my contribution to this house is minimal. And I've only won a couple of battles, okay? And I'm hanging on to those. I'm hanging on to those wins. I've been with my wife for over 30 years now, okay? And she's been trying to get me into counseling for more than 15 of them. And I have yet to give into that. And if I give into this, Dean, this is a path to me sitting on a couch in front of somebody that I'm going to, we don't even want to get into it. I'm going to say something I'm going to regret right now. And I don't want to.
Well,
I
don't
have
do it
been
then.
hiding
Yeah.
my insanity for years from myself and the people that I love.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to give this up.
You
And I
want
was
to
trying to get some
enjoy it.
support from you, who's a
Yeah,
friend.
I love you. You're a
And
great
you
guy.
fucking totally sewered me. I'm glad my
Well,
wife doesn't watch
Because
this.
I'm an
Wrong
actual
phone number.
friend. I'm an actual friend. That's why.
Yeah.
And so when you say my wife thinks I've got anxiety, and I'm like this.
Awkward.
You gotta-
She
monkey
also
has
thinks
eyes.
I have
You gotta-
anger issues, which is clearly wrong as well.
Lachlan,
Definitely not true.
why is she
You're-
so mean to you?
Why
You're
are
the
you so afraid of counseling? What's the
Oh,
dude?
that'll never happen. I'm never getting counseling.
I'm down to go because I'm excited for them to say I'm right. And then be like, see, I told you.
Generally speaking, that's kind of what happens.
No, see, my wife doesn't want to do the couples
Right.
counseling.
Ah.
She wants
Oh.
me to go by myself.
Oh, separate.
Oh.
Oh, see,
Hello.
she's not. She doesn't have your back.
side now. That's bullshit.
She doesn't
You
have
know
your
what?
back.
If she say this to her, you want a fucking get out of jail free card? Say, Deb, I'm an imperfect man, and if counseling is on the table for me, I'm totally in. But as an imperfect man married to another imperfect woman, and we're so in love, if we're doing counseling, we're doing counseling. Let's both get on the same page. And you know what'll happen? One of two things. She's gonna
a nut.
She's
Yeah, you
gonna
don't need any of
she's
that.
With a
gonna
butter
take you up
knife.
on it. No. She
Any
goes
of
on her own. You go on your own. But she takes you up on it, or she's like, I don't have time for it. So forget about that whole walking thing.
You know what I would do if I was in front of a counselor is I would just fuck with them. Right? Like I would spend the whole
You'd
time
make a
trying
bit
to
out of it.
entertain myself. Yes, I would. I would totally turn it into something for the radio, right? Yeah.
Oh,
That's
good.
actually the one time I actually thought about it because we were gonna, but no one will agree to come on. Like an actual counselor will not agree to come on the radio show and try to psychoanalyze me because they realize that it would be more about the bit than anything like actually fixing any of my so-called issues. Which
Why don't we bring a counselor in here? Why don't we do that here?
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, because then you can make a bit
Well, it's
out of
long
it.
form, and it's long form conversation, so it's
There you
not
go.
interrupted.
Do we have
and-
who's
yeah.
paying the fee?
No. We'll just
I'm sure we
how
free
you do it. You know how you
advertising.
do it here? You're like, hey, listen, you're doctor this guy. We'll give you some free advertising, but you got to come on and fix a couple dudes. You'd be like, yeah, no problem. I'd love to do that.
Sweet. Let's go.
Yeah.
I'll
Dude, I
only
talked
do
to-
it. I'll
I've
only
got
do
a-
it if James does it with us.
So we're
But then
not
there's-
doing that.
Okay, so much for that fucking idea, Lachlan. Thank you.
Way to go, man.
Way to fucking
You
blow
can't-
that one up.
You can't put preconditions on wellness, dude. You can't go, I'll get better only if he gets better. You can't do that.
How about James and Bonzi do it with us?
Oh,
No, I'm
James and Bonzi.
They won't have any time
Yes.
to get to us.
No, but what I'm saying is we can
Remember
bring a
group
counselor,
scenes
like a
in-
therapist on here. I've got a psychotherapist. I got a counselor. I love them. I haven't had to see him for a bit, which is great. But I talk to him all the time. I'm like, hey, what about this? What about this? But I also think it's a great thing for anybody to do that doesn't understand why they're fucking frustrated, right? Is go and talk to somebody to uncover what it is you're frustrated about. Because
I know
everybody's
why
job is to get
I'm
better in this world.
frustrated. And
Yeah,
it's
'cause you
not
got anxiety.
It's not anxiety. I'm frustrated because you guys all fucking don't realize that I'm going the right way. That's the problem here.
I
Don't,
understand.
hey, don't, not you guys.
We understood.
Those
Ryan-
guys.
Ryan's
the other
on
side
my
of the
side.
screen.
Thank you, Ryan.
I
Thank
love you. I
Yeah,
got you.
Thank you, brother. If you come to visit me, we'll walk the dog my way. Okay. That sounded dirty.
I'll bring the leash too.
Are you still talking about your wife?
No, it's talking about walking the dog.
Oh, it's International Women's Day.
It is.
Want to say a big shout out to all the babes out there, all the women out there, all the ladies, the strong women. We need more. This is just my thing. We need more women in podcasting.
Yeah.
We need more females.
We got
to step
quite
up.
a few women on the network.
Not enough. Not enough. These are our girls, though. Mel, Kat, Ash. We got Allie, Mercedes, Abby, Karen,
Mercedes is a rock star. I love her.
Karima,
Yeah.
Marianne, and of course Ashley, who's here. Hi, Ash.
Oh, look at that. She
What's it
jumped
like
in.
having your own day? You like having your own day?
I worked today.
Did you?
That shouldn't be a thing. I
They
think
didn't
that
like,
you
give us
guys,
the day off.
Pretty
every
sexist.
woman should have the day off on
Yeah.
International Women's Day.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
no, it wasn't even offered.
No.
And it's come on, beginning of the week. It's kind of
Yeah. Well, happy Women's Day.
Thank you. Could've been
How's it
Friday, just
been?
saying. They gave us croissants at work.
Oh.
They were like, "Have some croissants."
They gave the girls cupcakes at
Yep.
the radio station. I was like,
Like,
Yeah.
thank
it's
you.
a little rude. No? Like,
You
you got cupcakes, ladies.
I brought them home. I figured
Ladies
Ryan
love
would eat them.
case, right?
No,
I'm like,
we're all
probably
different people. We all
that was
like
probably a
different
man's
things.
idea.
yeah.
Crazy.
It was. It came
Probably a
from a
man's
dude.
idea.
Right,
Yeah.
some dude is like, what do the ladies want that says we heard about this being a day and here it
Cupcakes.
is? Cupcakes.
Yeah, here you go. And they're
Tacos
pink. By the way, they
and
were
wine.
pink. Yeah.
Tacos and
That's
wine?
That's what we want. We want tacos. We want wine.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of tacos and wine, and I'm starting to wonder if the taco part is just like a euphemism. But no, you want tacos and wine. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
no,
Actual
it's real.
tacos.
That's pretty.
Carbs? Just any carb in general?
Yep. Please.
Okay.
Yeah.
What happens on this day? I've never really celebrated it before. What happens?
Nothing that I've seen so far.
Okay. Just like a day to go, yay, girls?
I guess.
Yeah. Do you like this day? Like, is it a big day for you and other women?
I didn't get dressed up.
No.
I don't have dinner plans. I don't have any plans.
Ryan's a
Is
fucking
Ryan
loser.
gonna
Ryan.
like cook a
We're
nice
off the
meal for you? Though?
ball. Ryan always cooks,
Yeah.
so I can't complain about that.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you know the history of International Women's Day, the origin story?
I know that we were really angry,
Yeah.
and it was about time that we got everything that we wanted, and we were like, hey, let's go bitch about it. And I think it was New York.
Yeah. I don't know. I was just asking you if you knew the origin story of International Women's Day.
No, but
'cause
the
I don't.
maintenance man sent a really nice email about it, and I kind of scanned it.
Are you serious? The
Yeah.
maintenance guy sent an email to you guys at work, and he's like,
Yep.
just so you know, this is the history of International Women's Day.
It was the nicest part of the day. I was like, oh, he cared. That was cool.
Did you get a card?
No.
Did you get a gift other than the cupcakes at work?
The croissants had a sticker on top of them that said like beautiful and powerful or something like that.
Yeah. Do you think this day is just as dumb as most people do? Most women do that I talked to today? Because I talked to 4 women today. I had meetings with 4 different women, and I'm like, Happy International Women's Day. And one woman, what she said to me, and this is a very strong, smart woman, she's like, go fuck yourself. And I'm like,
We
Whoops.
will
I
bring
think
that up
that's
again.
my stance on it. I'm not
Oops.
that mad about it,
yeah.
but I mean, it wasn't. Nothing stood out about the day. Nobody has ever, other than a chocolate croissant, made the day anything. So
For you, they haven't.
Yeah, like again, there's no holiday factor. There's nothing.
You know, if we're doing an international day of women, I don't know why the fuck they're making women work on a day like today.
Well,
what I'm
to be fair,
saying.
Where I work, nobody would come. There'd be like 5 guys,
Yeah,
and the maintenance guy, he'd be there.
The maintenance
guess so.
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. On
but
Google.
women are so much more caring than men. Like it's not even close.
That's why you
Thoughtful.
find more of us in long-term care.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Like
I'd
if
say
you
it's like
guys took a day
95%.
off, if you had an international day off, the world would be fucked.
Yes. And
Right?
I'm not trying to be full of myself agreeing with that, but like,
It's the truth.
No,
I mean, the same goes for the other half. I think if every man decided
No.
to
That's
take
not
a day
true.
off,
No,
it probably
no,
wouldn't
we're
feel so
pussies.
great.
I
Not
think
a
the day would
chance.
be better.
if we stepped aside and said, "Ladies, you go around the world for a couple weeks," in 2 weeks, all the guys would be well, we can't follow that. We're stupid. We're idiots.
Yeah. That hole will
I
dig
believe
itself
that.
later.
The president
what?
of Finland, woman. Almost her entire cabinet, women. The 3 people that are running the war effort for Canada, Anita Anand, Chrystia Freeland, and Melanie Joly, women.
I know, but
Women.
people always say things like, if women ran the world, and I think like, what, nobody would ever start a fight about nothing? Because like that's never happened with a woman before.
Well,
right? Like,
What would the
I-
fight like if it was like if all world economies and governments were run by women? What kind of fights would we be?
I don't
seeing?
know. Maybe like that bitch from New Zealand didn't call me back, and I'm mad now.
Okay, well, I
That
said this.
bitch.
I'd
We were
like to
supposed to
get
have
some.
tacos and wine, and now friends off. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, the wars would be started over calls that never came back.
That's what I'm
or being
saying,
left
like, it
off
would
of
be
an
petty.
international dinner list.
It would be much pettier, I think.
Ashley, I said this yesterday, and I totally agree with this. I think the world would be a better place if more women had more power. But I did say this. I said, I know a couple of women I wouldn't want to have their hand on the button.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And like I said, we're all people. It's not. I don't think it's necessarily men and women. It's just that some people suck and some people don't.
That's correct.
And it doesn't matter what sex or race or culture you are. There's just dicks in every bunch, unfortunately.
Yeah. yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You put 100 people in a room, you're going to have a handful of assholes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And some of them might be
Every
women.
time.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, oh,
that's-
absolutely.
That's fair to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I bet you if we put 10 dudes in a room and in the next room you put 10 women and you went looking for assholes in each room, the ratio of asshole to no asshole between the men and the women significantly different. That's my
Dean's
opinion.
right. They
We
would
just
be
hide
higher.
Guys are assholes.
No.
women would work together more than the guys would work together. We'd be like, I can do this, you can do that. I'll take over. Women are like, how do we work together? No? Does that not happen? Am I wrong? You're shaking your head.
To a degree, I guess. But I mean, like I said, I think it goes both ways. It does. I think that men are just more forward about things, and I think that women, when they don't like each other or they don't want to work together, it's like a little bit more underhanded and
little
it's
more
a little bit more
vindictive.
shady. And maybe it's not like, hey, I didn't like that, but it's like, I didn't like that. I'm gonna screw things up for her for the next fucking month. You know what I mean? Like it's
Slow
like
burn.
Yeah, like men will like break your heart and screw with you, but like women will mentally destroy you slowly. Like we're just different creatures entirely. I'm sorry.
Are you like that?
Can be.
Like, do you hold a grudge and then work
Oh.
that grudge for months? Like, any
yeah.
chance you get somebody, you'll work that grudge?
Yeah, like
She just
and
savored that
not so
thought,
much like
dude.
Grudge, Ashley.
not in my professional life, but like in my personal life, 110%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know that's bad for you, right?
Yep. Yeah. But I have pills
jeez.
that counteract that, so we're good. Yeah.
We
And you know what else? We've got tacos
Yeah, you do.
and we've got wine, so we're gonna be fine.
Oh my God,
There you
there's
go.
no wine in that wine.
That's Ryan's fault.
Ryan. Ryan drank all of
I don't-
Ashley's
I
wine
don't
on
drink the
International
red
Women's
anyway.
Day.
Yeah, good. Well, listen, I want to wish you and every woman today happy International Women's Day, but let me do it in a different
Go
way
fuck
and not just
yourself.
go fuck yourself, because I did that earlier.
Thanks,
No
Lon.
word of a lie. It was a lady that I work with, do a little work with, and some consulting with a couple of companies, and I'm like, hey, how you doing? She's like, yeah, not bad. I'm like, happy International Women's Day. Dead silence. This was the response. Go fuck yourself. And I'm like, okie dokie then, on with the business.
I gotta
a
say,
little harsh.
though, Dean, I think she probably thought you were being a dick.
No.
She probably didn't think there was some sincerity.
Well, I haven't made
you
a habit
have-
of like wishing women a happy International Women's Day because it's like fucking Valentine's Day to me. It's just these made up, like, the other day on my computer, it's like, hey, it's guys with a left hand, only one left hand, or guys who are right-handed day. And I'm like, what the fuck? How many of these days do we have? International Women's Day is a great day, though, because obviously women have been marginalized in the workplace, have been passed over, and we treat them very differently in a colonial society. So I like that idea. I'm just wondering what we fucking get out of it. What do you get out of it? And it sounds like nothing.
I think we need to get more out of it. Frankly. If
I
that's
agree.
going to be a day for
Conclusion
something.
we've come to.
Yeah.
We got to
I mean,
do something about it. But let me say
it's
this.
always
To you, is you make us better every day, and it has nothing to do with the fact that you're a woman. It has everything to do with the fact you're incredibly bright.
Thank you.
And you do a wonderful job with the Sheeple Shepherd podcast. And it's been a great pleasure getting to know you and Ryan because you're both two peas in a pod, and you give me a lot of motivation to stay single. And no,
I'm glad I could do that.
No, but you guys are wonderful,
You
and you're a
deserve
great
that.
couple. And I can tell you this is the things that, like, I've got guys that, like, when you talk to them about their wives, you're like, oh fuck, they're like, oh fuck, how
He
are
feels
things
it
at home?
sometimes, and that's
fuck.
okay.
Dude, he loves you.
I
He
know.
idolizes
I don't think
you. He
I've
thinks you're
ever heard
wonderful.
Ryan say a bad thing about you
Nope.
once,
Never.
except that you go the wrong way with the dog.
Yeah, which
He
Yeah, that
goes the
came out
wrong way
good.
with the dog. He's a
Well,
goddamn
the-
liar.
Whoa.
whoa.
Heyo.
Yeah, I can see him right now too. I'm not afraid to say it in front of him.
I wouldn't be either. I've seen you run his show. It's beautiful. Anyway, Ash, happy International Women's Day. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, gentlemen. Lovely to
You're
see
very
you.
welcome. Lovely to see you as well. That is Ashley Lindley, Ryan's wife. International Women's Day is today. Big shout out to all the Ukrainian women today that are fighting. Literally 38,000 Ukrainian women in the armed forces. Women,
It's awesome.
guns, knives, bayonets, RPGs. They're out there going, no big deal. And then they do their makeup. Like, I was watching this Ukrainian woman unload on a convoy and then turn around, open up her makeup kit, have a look, make sure everything's still cool, put it back in, and then on with business.
Get it, girl.
That's it. Yeah, happy International Women's Day. We'll talk to you soon, Ash. Thank you.
Take care.
All right. That's Ashley Lindley, and that is her husband, Ryan. Sheeple Shepherd Podcast is their podcast. Subscribe to it anywhere you get your fine podcasts. That is my friend Chris Rook,
Hey.
our head of production. Great job today. Great
Thanks.
first world post. Cannot believe you did this. Brutal.
You know what? In
The war
honor
going
of
on, and you're
International
talking about
Women's
chip
Day,
wars. Yeah.
you know who told me maybe don't write that?
Who?
My lovely wife.
Yeah.
Happy International Day to you, Lindsay, even though she doesn't watch the show. So I'm just speaking into a void.
Yeah. Happy International Women's Day. And to your wife, Locke, who's got you covered. Happy International Women's Day to Deb.
Am I supposed to say something to her about this day? I mean,
No.
Did you
okay.
say anything to her today? Did you wish her a happy International Women's Day today?
No, we didn't even address it on the show.
You didn't talk about it?
No. I felt it was a bit disingenuous just based on the fact that we got it's a sausage party on that locker room. The last thing they need to hear is us congratulating them for a day that we know.
For being born a female?
Yeah. I
No,
probably
good
could have
going.
maybe given our tickets away to women or something. We didn't even do that. Like, yeah.
I got the
I-
old, is that
I-
today? I
Oh, did you really?
Yep. On our way out. I said, Happy International Women's Day, by the way. She's like, is that today? I'm like, yep. She said, all right.
It's a-
Off to work she goes.
Did she tell you to go fuck yourself too, or
In the tone was go fuck yourself, but she said, all right.
Oh, that's today. All right. Thank you.
All right.
That's one thing.
Absolutely.
My
Does it
wife
not
has
feel
a gift.
patronizing, though?
My
A little
wife
bit.
has a gift of the tone. Like she can say more with a look or just one word. She can say more than any, like it would take me a week to explain it.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to ask you to explain it. Then I'm like, I don't want to give him more anxiety because he's already got terrible.
good.
Wedding.
I'm
Let's all
fucking
walk
good.
the dog right today. Not left. Let's go right.
I'm gonna walk the dog and call you, Locke, when you're walking the dog, and we're gonna tell each other how right we are.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would be good. Yeah. You guys, you never come back. Probably get attacked while you're out. You probably
feel
would,
great when
because
I
you
get home.
shouldn't have gone that way. I knew it all. I knew it the whole time. You should not have gone that way. You guys just keep going the way you want to go. Ryan Lindley, Sheeple Shepherd Podcast. Download it wherever you get your fine podcasts. Follow him on Twitter at Ryan Lindley. Chris Rook at ROOOOOOKI_ on Twitter. He's our
Maybe.
head of production. Go and read his stuff at DeanBlundell.com. Thanks for doing this and arranging everything with Alex.
Yep, thank you.
That is Lachlan
great
Cross,
job.
95.7 Cruise FM in Edmonton is where you can find him every single weekday morning. At Lachlan Cross on Twitter. Appreciate you guys both. We'll talk to you soon.
Take care, my brother.
Ciao,
All right,
guys. Love you guys.
Take care. Love you too, baby. I love
Babies.
everybody. Everybody love everybody. That's from Semi-Pro, by the way. I don't know. It's maybe one of the funniest movies no one's ever seen. Will Ferrell, Semi-Pro? No. Everybody love everybody. It's impossible, isn't it? Have a great day. I want to thank Alex Dayrabekov from Ukraine, from Kyiv, for joining us for a good hour today. He's going to be blogging with us. So if you're looking for unfiltered reports from people who are currently trying to avoid extermination, DeanBlundell.com. Follow Alex. It's Dayrabekov. We're going to post it in the actual comment section. And don't worry, we're going to make sure that we get you all his information and how you can help as well. But thank you to Alex. I mean, the courage of these people has just been lights out. And we appreciate it. So thanks, Alex. Thanks, everybody, for paying attention to us today. Really appreciate it. Have a great day. We'll see you in a couple days. No, we'll see you tomorrow. Fuck, I wasn't going to do tomorrow, but I am going to do tomorrow now. We'll see you tomorrow on the show. And later on in the week, we've got the folks from Midas Touch on. We're just trying to figure out when we're going to do that. And a few other goodies for you tomorrow. So have a great day. We'll see you then.